The gentleman is recognized for 2 minutes.
Thank you very much. I am still a broadcaster, actually. My family's been in radio broadcasting for more than 20 years. And actually, my parents before that.
The microphone is.
Mr. Chairman, it seems rather cruel that a radio broadcaster would not have his microphone turned on. And so I stand here today in support of this amendment because it really is about the First Amendment, and it is about the freedom of speech on the airwaves. And if you don't think so, go back to what the U.S. Supreme Court said in Red Lion Broadcasting versus FCC 38 years ago, when they cautioned that while the doctrine may be constitutional, if it's ever used to restrain speech, its constitutionality should be reconsidered. 1974 in Miami Herald Publishing Company versus Torino, the court concluded that the doctrine inescapably dampens the vigor and limits the variety of public debate. 23 years ago in FCC versus League of Women Voters, the court concluded the scarcity rationale underlying the doctrine was flawed and the doctrine was limiting the breadth of public debate. The U.S. Supreme Court made that series of rulings, and as a result, the FCC overturned it. And as a result of overturning that, all of a sudden the airwaves blossomed with both conservative speech and liberal speech. It's not my fault that Air America didn't find a huge audience out there and went bankrupt. There are others out there who have done very successfully. It has encouraged speech. If the Fairness Doctrine is put back in place, as it was pre-1987, you will silence, not expand, public debate. I've been a broadcaster. I know what it was like when it was in place, and I know what it'll be like again. And while I don't always agree with those who are on the airwaves, I will always defend their right to speak their piece because it actually energizes people to get involved. So yes, I have a talk radio station, and yes, it does have Rush Limbaugh on it, and it does have Sean Hannity on it, and Michael Reagan and others. And this is what American broadcasting is about in part. But what we're really about here is protecting the fundamental constitutional rights of First Amendment speech that we stood on this floor and raised our hand to protect and uphold. And the courts have made it clear that reinstituting the Fairness Doctrine, if used to restrict speech, would be unconstitutional. That I yield back to my colleague.